Right. Now that we're live, hello and welcome everyone to the Dungeon Folks, our official Dungeons and Dragons podcast, where we at the Young Folks stop playing movies and music, start playing a Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Alex Suffolk, and we got our full cast here. Well, full. We're missing Lee. She'll probably show up later. If not, then Ori will be doing special monk stuff on his own for a bit. We will see. That's just, like I keep saying, that's the meme of Dungeons and Dragons. You can never organize people to show up at the same place at the same time every time. That's just, it's no different when you're making content for a website. That's just the curse of D&D.
It's true.
But anyway, today will be an exciting day because today we are finally beginning the Heist arc of our campaign. Our brave heroes have been preparing.
Brave?
Well, interesting. Committed.
Better.
Endearing. Relentless. I would say ingenious, but that might be giving it a little too much credit.
No, that's not much.
But our main characters, our protagonists, there we go, that's a neutral term. Our protagonists have been preparing for this heist at the Clockwork Castle, the home of one Sumi, the leader of the gnomes, the tinkerer, the creator of the public transit system that unites all of Alaman, the jungle, this great city-state that you've all found yourselves in. You are delving into it to find schematics for new guns used by one of the other factions of the city, and you're stealing it for a sort of a plucky and endearing in his own way type of gnome named Alvin Blacklung, who aspires to make his own line of weapons. And so we are picking up at the day of the heist. We are skipping about a day and a night into the future as you all find yourselves showing up one by one, or in the first case, in a pair of two, at the heist, reflecting on the preparations that you've made. And so, does anybody else have anything else to say? Summary-wise, things that I missed?
Did we all do the things that we wanted to do?
You will do them. You will have done them. Wait, it'll be a bit of a Pulp Fiction-y thing.
We're doing experimental formatting tonight.
I couldn't get through another day of not doing the heist, guys. It's been like 6 months.
True.
So we're here at the gala. Merritt and Karnov, we begin with you. As you arrive in Tinkertown, not by the public transit system, but by a carriage, it has taken you several hours to ride along the bumpy streets from one corner of Alaman to the other, alongside Ziggy Starchild. His purple regalia, loot strapped ready, tuning it along the way. Karnov, you are dressed in a similar fashion of tight leather, colored red with rhinestones, as are you, Merritt, but instead of a bright red or purple, as Karnov and Ziggy respectively, you are in a deep blue leather set. And the three of you are riding, and you know that you're in Tinkertown when you hear music emitting from a speaker system. But it's not this sort of like, flute, air whistle, simple melodies constantly droning on. You hear different music coming from the system. You hear very classical violins playing throughout. So instead of the Thomas the Tank Engine, you're hearing more like Vivaldi's Four Seasons as you roll up.
That's what Merritt wanted.
It is exactly what I wanted.
It's not his mixtape, but it's close.
Because of a plan, or because that's just what you liked?
I feel like he was just sick of the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas the Tank Engine. Thank you very much.
Merritt was sick of that the moment he heard it. Yes, so yeah.
So, you all arrive and you pass the threshold and you approach this giant brass and like rotating clock faced castle and the carriage stops, and you all leave, and you see that there are a line of like little gnomes, sort of like peeking over a velvet rope that sort of separates the entrance of the castle to the rest of Tinkertown. Everybody's sort of like watching and gawking and trying to see people who are looking at this red carpet that leads into the castle. And as Ziggy steps out, he just looks at the two of you and he's like, "Are you ready to dazzle, my friend?"
I sure hope so.
All I get is an ear-to-ear smirk. No words.
I'll take that as a yes. And he steps out, and as soon as he steps out, there are screams of like everybody who's like clustered around the ropes, like, "Ah, it's Ziggy! There he is! I hear he's an angel!" And they're just like, people are going nuts, and so much so that you see that there's other more regal attired people. You see humans and a couple dragonborn, some one or two half elves in sort of fancier regalia suits with fine silk studded with diamonds and gold and rubies, fancy ladies in long gowns along the held in elbows with some men sort of paired with one another, and so on and so forth. It's a very metropolitan, it's a very mixed crowd here walking in, but all of them are very upper class, you feel like. The sort of refined society, and some of them turn and look and sort of are confused at the appearance of these three men in matching but different color tight leather outfits, but others have a sort of a face of recognition and excitement and sort of whispering to one another as they see Ziggy approach.
I'm assuming that I'm following.
Yes, all three of you are walking as one. Also behind you is a tall Goliath woman who wears a bear head over her own, sporting the only weapon amongst you, a great axe, as Joanna, one of the lieutenants of the Butchers and Ziggy's personal bodyguard, is following very uncomfortably close behind the two of you.
Enjoy getting away from that, Merritt.
Merritt says nothing. He still has that stupid smirk on his face.
So the four of you continue to walk through, you pass through and
sorry,
up.
My doggo want to talk on stream.
No worries. You walk up the steps into the castle again, and once more, you walk past these tall brass doors to the 30-foot wide by 200-foot long entryway, with the stunning red carpet with gold trim. And the one you were in here 2 days ago doing your reconnaissance, you see the two massive paintings on one side, on each side of the walkway. One sporting that very strange but picturesque landscape of green waters with purple skies and red grass. And then on the right-hand side, there is a painting of gears and metal platforms sporting modrons. But where once you walked through with Figgle, the assistant, and it was sort of echoing and empty, now it is chock full of people sort of loitering about, standing, waiting before they enter, and some of them sort of ducking into these little alcoves and entryways, and you hear running water as people are sort of mingling, using the restrooms, getting ready to enter the party. And you see at the end of this hallway, sitting at this top of this little podium, is a gnome woman with many freckles on her face, huge glasses, and a little bun of curly hair atop her head, looking over a huge book with lots of papers and checking lots of little writing as she looks up and down between people who are entering and people who are entering and things on the book. And then she nods her head and she'll speak into this little sort of gramophone thing.
It's Jenny Slate.
And she is announcing the names of everyone who is walking through as she checks them off the guest list. And as they walk through, you see that there's two other gnomes sort of hovering in the air, and each of them have a wand, and they sort of wave it over each person as they walk by, and then pause them, wait for a moment, wave the wand, and then nod and allow them to walk through. And you hear, within your minds, a grating but familiar voice. So, you guys ready for this?
This guy.
No.
This guy.
And Merritt, you start thinking about how you've prepared for this day. You are ready for this.
Oh, he is.
You
No,
remember... So, you remember walking into the lair of the Queen, going past the various drow guards, and knocking on the door of one Deborah the Cut-Ear, or as you know her as, Princess Magla. And she asks you, like, what are you doing here? You ask her about magic circles. And what she knows about them.
Magic circles, magic circles.
So, what specifically do you ask her?
First, Alex, can you refresh me what I wanted to do at the end of last episode? I've been asleep for like the past couple hours.
It's okay. So what you were planning during your little reconnaissance mission of the castle was you were told by Figgle that part of the security measures and safety measures are that there's not too many exits in the castle, but there are a selection of like emergency magic circles, which are
Okay.
And so your idea was sort of to cause a scene and then escape by finding one of these circles and leaving them. And you asked Figgle if you can know where they are, and she said Sumi doesn't like handing out the information, but she'll ask and let you know. Meanwhile,
didn't I say that I wanted the circles for like fire safety or some silly thing like that?
Silly thing like that. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Fire safety.
So what did I want the princess specifically to know about the circles? Did I mention what I specifically wanted? I forget.
You wanted to know if the princess knows where any of them lead, or if she knows where any of them are in the castle. If she knows
That's
them.
what I wanted.
Yeah.
Alright, so I ask her if she knows about these circles that Sumi has supposedly planted all around the city.
And you can kind of see underneath her bandaged, disguised face, one eyebrow sort of shift the bandages up, and she's like, "No, I wasn't aware that Sumi had circles of his own. That's heavily unregulated, and I'll have to take note of that, but for a later time. However, magic circles are usually one way, and they lead to other magic circles. If I assume all of them are bug outs to other places within the city that he feels are safe. The most common magic circle in the city is that just goes to the docks in the north end of the city, where other travelers can arrive to. It'd be inconspicuous. If you arrive there, you'd blend in with everyone else coming into the city.
Are there now, or does your family have any of these magic circles around the city?
There's some in the palace. I used them to get here when I was escaping the crash.
Is there any way that I could get from the docks to here without anybody noticing with those circles? Does one jump to the other?
You're asking very sketchy questions, dude.
I'm
Make a persuasion check.
Very good. I rolled a 12, but what's my plus on persuasion? Come on, my plus on persuasion is 2, so it's a 14.
All right, 14. She looks at you and she says, "Well, what I can tell you is, most likely, any circle that Sumi has will be able to go to the North Docks. So if you find one of these circles in his castle, just say the word, the Alamon Docks, and you'll be taken there."
Alamon Docks, got it. Mm-hmm.
So you're going then, with this mission of yours.
I'm a little reluctant on it at this point, but it's what we have to do at this point.
Do you have any worries? Is there anything else I can tell you to help you with this?
Yeah, I was wondering if you knew anything about how Sumi's castle worked, and how its rooms, supposedly through some hokey-pokey magic, change around. You know how any way how that works at all? Just as a
He once bragged to me, making a rather scattered pitch to redesign the palace. He was bragging that through security measures, he could have a lockdown mode where things are scrambled and entryways could only be activated with a series of levers. So there's bound to be many hidden secrets in every room. Keep a keen eye. Look for combinations. Look for levers and switches and hidden doors. You'll probably find many.
Lastly, do you have any recommendations on how I swipe these plans?
Cause as little trouble as you can. Or cause as much.
I like the second option.
Mm-hmm.
The second option is considerably more dangerous.
Well, that's my MO.
Very well. Then I wish you luck.
Aye, aye.
And so, Merritt, as you walk forward, knowing Va'alaman docks, you approach the podium with Fickle sitting there, and she's like, "Mr. Starchild, it's so great to see you back here again, and other friends. So, the interesting thing, I know it's Mr. Starchild's on the guest list, and I know you two," and she motions to you and you, Karnov, are supposed to be here as well. I know that you didn't have a name, sir. You couldn't earn it until you danced well enough, but I imagine you have to have a name here somewhere. Do you mind telling me what name I could find you under is?
I have no idea what it would be under.
Pick a David Bowie reference out of your head.
Oh gosh. You can call me Jareth.
I'm not finding a Jareth on the list. And Ziggy just like looks at you and he's just like rolls his eyes. It's like, is Karnov on there?
Oh, he actually put my real name on there? Come on!
Oh yeah, that's
so
right.
much for low profile.
And he just like whispers in the ear and he's like, "Sorry, I submitted the list before I knew you had ulterior motives."
A stage name.
Okay, yeah, that's
he means stage name.
Yeah, so,
I think he means
Karnov,
the heist, but also yes.
So you did find a name. That's really good to hear. And Ziggy's just like, and his name will be right under mine, as will Joanna's. She's like, oh, okay then, you're all set. Actually, slight retcon. You remember Merritt as you were leaving. Magla grabs your arm and she's like, "I should tell you before you go into the castle. Your bag is part of the Bureau of Transit. They might notice it.
You want to hold on to it for me?"
I probably should.
And I give her my bag. I don't have anything in it.
Oh, you had a couple things, but it's fine. So good. You don't have your bag with you, because as you walk through, you are they wave wands all over you to detect if you have anything. And Merritt, I'd like to ask you, did you try to sneak in any weapons?
Like anything that was regularly on me, or what?
Yeah, any weapons, anything metal. Did you try to sneak anything in?
All right, are my thieves' tools metal?
Yes.
I don't have them on me. They're with actually with Ori. I gave them to Ori the morning of.
Okay. Good to know. We will resolve that when it's Ori's turn then.
Hold out of my butt.
You just threw Ori under the bus.
All right. Do you have any of your daggers, short sword, any of that?
I only have a single small dagger with me for my own personal protection, but it's like not a good blade.
Then roll a stealth check.
Boy. Please let it work.
How does... Well, it's gonna work. I have, like, I rolled a 14 plus a 7 to stealth.
Alright, you... Knowing the drill, having been to events where you're supposed to hide weapons, but knowing you still protect yourself, you have a small, sort of, like, inlet in the sole of your boot, where you hide one dagger. And as the gnomes sort of wave their wands, one sort of, like, looks at you in the face and, like, hums for a second. And like, The wand is picking up something, but you are rather decked out in your jacket. It must just be confusing.
I have something locked in my leg. That's probably what it is.
And Ziggy's just like, yes, the price of extravagance is being always being detected. And so you're all walking through. And Merritt, you're sort of amazed because you know that. Karnov, you're sort of amazed because you know that Merritt hid something, and you're wondering, have I been able to hide my things as well? And so, now your flashback. Are you with us, Karnov? Travis, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, having some trouble.
Okay, no worries. So, Karnov, you don't know how or why in particular you found yourself at the shop of Old Greenie, but you did.
Oh,
probably
boy.
the one shop that you really know of where you might be able to find something. Your one wish to spend the day was to find provisions. And so you're there in the shop of Old Greenie, because you know he has a little bit of everything.
And a gate to hell.
And a gate to hell. And he asks you, so my friend, what can I get you?
God damn.
There's gonna be a lot of voices tonight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, keep your voice good. I'm looking for something very special.
I'm sorry, you
Preferably
can have my hat.
magical. Preferably of the magical variety, but I'm flexible. I need it to be able to bypass detection.
How much money you got? How much coin you willing to spend?
Well, I'm more interested in what you have in options, and then I can make a decision. But if you must know, I am carrying a fair amount of gold.
I have also
However-
given you 1 platinum and 5 gold and told you to pick up whatever was best for me.
Okay. You're actually why I was doing this. So, you see, Greenie, what I'm seeking is something capable of making a mess.
Like a stinky mess? Like a visual mess? Like a sticky mess?
Anything that could potentially distract a large crowd.
I could give you a scroll of fireball.
That's definitely a start. Now, how big is the scroll? Could I fit it into a leather garb?
I suppose I could write real tiny.
So more like a folded high school note than a scroll. Could you possibly fold it flat?
Just like fold it. I can make a nice little swan if you like it.
No, flat. Flat. Like
Flat.
if I were to open up, say I had a giant plunging V-neck on my leather suit, I could put it right there and go snap, and it would, because it's not real leather. It's more like leather.
I suppose so, yeah. Might run you a bit extra. Let me check.
Tell me your price.
Me. I should have checked up on some of these things before just winging it and looking in the book, because this is quality content. Okay, here we go. Wow, really? Yeah. That is not bad. Okay. Pricing in here. Ah, okay. Well, for the fireball, that'll be about 300 gold.
Ooh.
That's why I asked. How much gold you got?
A little bit, not as much as 300 that I'm willing to spend. What else do you have?
I got all sorts of stuff. I got noisemakers. I got wizards. I got stinking clouds. I got darkness. I got fairy fire.
Tell me about your stinking cloud.
Yes. Yes.
Well, sometimes if you eat a bit of rancid meat and some cheese that don't sit right, it's kind of like this spell that you can cast.
So you have to eat something first.
No, I'm just making a comparison. There's a spell that does it.
And this would be a spell as well on a scroll?
Yes, indeedy. Stinking cloud. Let's see what I got here with a stinking cloud. Ah, that one runs you about 100 gold.
I could do that one.
I just sent you something through the stone.
I could potentially consider that. However, one final question before we make an exchange.
Yes?
Is there anything you have that could render someone unconscious for a period of time? The longer the better.
I got power word kill.
Not dead. Unconscious.
Hear him out.
That's a pricey one, I can tell.
What if Sumi dies? You have something for that?
No.
Power word kill.
That'll cost about 100,000 gold and take me about a week to pair, but I can do it.
No, I'm good. We don't need that.
All right. Well, there's good old sleep spell.
Sleep spell? How much is that?
That'll run you about 20. It's a weaker one.
20 gold? That would be doable. Would I have to pay you more to do the folding thing we discussed?
I say give me about 10 extra. So total, you're looking at about 130 for those two scrolls.
Let's focus on just the sleep scroll. I think we can get a lot done with that.
Then just 30, unless you want it to be stronger.
How strong are we talking?
Well, more potent. The way the sleep spell works. I mean, y'all magic fella, ain't you? You don't know about sleep?
Well, I understand it, but if you can cheat the system...
Well, I can sell you a sleep scroll with nearly the potency of a fireball for about 50 gold.
What do you think, Merritt?
You have 1 platinum of mine. Do whatever you want with that.
Well, I mean, that's like, what, 10 gold?
Yeah, so you need 5 platinum for that.
Yeah. I have gold in my bank, that's fine.
And you also have pieces of mine as well.
Let's take the very potent sleep spell for 50.
Alright! And you know what? I can just tell you want to hide it. So I'll add a non-detection rune just for free. And so
you're a good man, Greenie.
You got a lot of gold, friend.
And I pay him the 50.
And you have a spell scroll of level 4 sleep.
Good. And I do fold that up and just...
Yep, you got it. So, just find the spell specifics again. So at 4th level, sleep would do 11d8. So what you do is you roll 11d8s, and that's like a pool of hit points, and anything under that amount will fall asleep.
Dope.
So, I mean, usually the best way to sleep works is like if you rough up a target and reduce its hit points a little bit, you can like knock it out.
All right, we can decide what to do with that later, Merritt. If I need to pass it to you in the middle of a dance move.
And so, is anything else I can get you?
No, Greenie, you have helped me quite a bit.
And you have helped out my coffers. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
My wallet's always happy when you walk in. And he waves. And as the gnome, in present time, waves his wand over you, sure enough, it detects nothing. And you just feel the comfort of the page in your coat pocket as you walk on through with Ziggy. And so the three of you walk down into the ballroom, and once again you see that massive golden slab that takes up the entirety of the floor, reflective of the huge clock clicking, ticking away the time up above you. And you can see that there's like about 100 people all sort of gathered on the floor, and your eyes play tricks with you because like the reflections make it look like there's twice as many people walking about, mingling. And you see now where there were those pillars that hold up the balcony of the second floor that goes around the floor. Those pillars have these spigots, and people walk up to them with glasses, and they start filling them with various wines, ales, and juices, almost everything. You see now, as you descend the stairs, and you hear Figgle's voice sort of chiming through. Now approaching Ziggy Starchild and company. And people look up from the ballroom, and they start like slowly clapping. And you see that stage that was sort of set up in like by like the metal shaft. There's like a few violins playing in front of those like gramophones, and you realize that that's the music that's being currently played and broadcast throughout all of Tinkertown. It seems that Merritt's suggestion has gone through.
You're a very influential guy, Richard.
Well, I do know a thing or 17 about music.
And stairs.
And stairs. Again,
of which there are many, says Ziggy as they're walking down.
He says all of this. Merritt is saying all of this in the calmest, most relaxed voice you've ever heard him for. He's really sure about the plan that he has.
And so, the four of you start descending down, and you can see on the other side of the wall, underneath the balcony, that there are these huge tables. There's like, and it's sort of there's just decked out with all sorts of food. On one side, there's roasted meat and steamed shellfish, platters of exotic fruits and cheese wheels. And then on the other side, there are a bunch of freshly baked bread and 5 types of different tall cakes, like wedding cake sizes. One's chocolate, one is a sort of white cream, another one is filled with fruits, and so on. And
I say to myself, I'd like to try some, but I feel like I would bust right out of this costume if I did.
And so, you all walk in, and you sort of walk towards the stage, getting ready to prepare. So, Flint, you are marching alongside Gorak Threeclaw, leader of the Hall of War, and instead of... sorry, Clausen. Got him confused with a different guy. Clausen. No. Threeclaw's a different Gorak. He's Clausen. Small shout out to Yasmin and Gabby if they ever watch this. Gorak Threeclaw. But Gorak Clausen is the leader of the Hall of War, the church domain to all gods of war. And he walks with you. He's like, prepare to schmooze, mighty champion. You may know how to fight in the ring, but trust me, the upper class, much more vicious. Like, well, I hope to hear it. I hope drinking is the third. And he taps you on the shoulder. So, the three of you approach. As you're walking in, you start seeing more and more people beginning to pile into the room. And you have a bit of a headache, Flint.
Uh-oh.
As you hear ringing in your voice, okay, everybody, I've posted up in the hedges. We are set to go. And you hear another voice, as am I, the fun guy. I hope you're all been acquainted to the Mind Home.
Forgot all about this thing.
And so,
that's it.
And so, Flint, you remember, all of you.
The visual effects.
You remember all of you, Ori, Flint, Merritt, Karnov, Alexandris, all piled into Alvin's shop in the morning of the day of the heist. And he's like, okay, everybody, today is the day. Everybody, snort it up. And he starts patting the fun guy.
Before we start this, Alvin, I have a question for you. So I have come up with a plan to get the blueprints.
Great.
And this is what I want. Could you, while we're here, make fake blueprints?
He's like, you know what? Yeah, actually, I totally can.
But could you? No, actually. Do you have anything against Sumi, perchance?
I mean, he's making a lot of money when I could be making it too. That's about it.
Well, how about you make them in such a way that when they're unveiled, they completely embarrass him?
You mean like make really shitty guns?
Yes. Whatever you want to do. Just make them...
You know what? I will, you know what? Actually, this works out perfectly. And he sort of like, he hops down and he walks over to a drawer and he pulls out, you see there's a bunch of papers in there. And he pulls out a big one and it's a schematic and he's like, this gun sucked. It blew up instantly. You can have it.
Can you make this so I can shove it some... Well, actually, we have Ori with us, who is extremely tall. Ori's extremely tall, right?
Ori's pretty tall, yeah.
How about we find Ori to take these blueprints in, and he passes them on to me, and then I need to find a way to hide them, don't I? Can you make a way for these blueprints to be hidden somewhere on my person? I might not be
And he takes the paper and he just like folds it 5 times. Like that.
Like that, yes. I
like that our answer to everything is folding
fold
it up.
paper.
I assumed that they had to be rolled like a roll, but this works too.
You know what?
Now that we've established it.
And he goes over and he takes out like a copy of it and he's like, this one was even worse. And he rolls that one up. And he's like, I guess you could like wrap it around your leg. Your pants are pretty tight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'll do.
And so you roll up your sort of sticky, clingy leather pants and wrap this parchment of a gun schematic around your calf, and you roll it back over.
Don't worry, I have like another set of something on between it, so it's fine. I'm guessing. I assume. Is that how clothing works in D&D? You can have like 2 layers.
Just sure.
Everyone,
it's like a video game. Everyone always has a loincloth under everything.
So that's my plan. Lastly, Alvin, do you know anything about the circles that Sumi has around the town, around the city from his castle, my underground contact gave me some good information, but it was ultimately a little inconclusive for what I need specifically out of the castle.
I mean, he has a really weird observatory. There's like nothing in there, man. If there's a circle, it's probably in there.
Alright, so I need to get from where they're doing the blueprints to this observatory.
Yeah, probably.
Hmm. Would you be able to meet me perchance at the docks in town? Because I might be appearing there after the blueprints are mysteriously
I can meet with you
vanishing
there
at
later,
this-
but I'm gonna be staying in the hedges the entire time until everybody gets out of there.
Very well
Smart.
then.
All right, now inhale your spores. And he holds up.
Now,
He holds up the little mushroom dog.
Why does he keep pushing the drugs?
You all agree to this. This is how we stay in communication.
Then what's
You
this
didn't
for?
say we had to be happy about it.
Like, hold up the coin and be like, then what's this for?
The stone, like, you can only use that once a day. This is unlimited.
Very well then.
I'm not arguing with the drug monster.
So, you all inhale these green spores, and you all have a little bit of a headache, and then you hear a charming voice. You hear a charming voice. Welcome back, everyone, to my mind home. I am the fun guy. Welcome. And
Oh,
you
jeez.
hear Alvin without moving his mouth. I can't wait to get started. I've been waiting for this.
I'm sure you
And
do.
so- he's like, oh, one more thing. I can do something else for you guys. And he rummages in his little pouch at his side, and he pulls out 4 silver coins. He's like, this is a little trick of my trade. I can put spells in these and give them to you to use later. Like, so I got 4
Sounds
options.
good.
I have 4 options for you. One of you, I can put multiple of the same in each one, or one in each. It's up to you guys. You got some options.
What spells?
I can make you run away really fast. I can help out your armor in a fight. I can let you disguise yourself, or I can let you heal some of your wounds. So he has the option of giving you coins that store a spell in them. That are like, it's like a spell scroll, but they're in a coin. And so he has Expeditious Retreat, Shield of Faith, Disguise Self, and Cure Wounds.
I probably don't need those since my role is a little bit different.
He can only hand out 4. I mean, and there are 5 of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out. I don't need any of those. I think I'm okay. So you guys can take them.
Who has the dog?
It's me. Sorry, he wants to be on stream apparently.
That's the fun guy. He's barking now. As he is a mushroom dog.
It's canon.
He's so excited at the thought of Alvin giving magic coins. So there's Expeditious Retreat, which like doubles your movement speed to help you run away, and it helps you like disengage automatically. Shield of Faith adds to your armor class. Disguise Self lets you like become another person for a little bit. And then Cure Wounds is a healing spell that heals you 1d8 plus 3.
Same.
Joseph is the best JoJo.
I need that one too.
So 4
Now
coins.
you're already fast.
4 coins of Disguise Self or Expeditious Retreat.
Expeditious Retreat.
Okay.
Do they only have to all be the same 4?
No.
Can we do, like-
They can. There are 4 coins. Each one can be one of the 4.
Do we all have 4 coins, or are there just 4 coins for all of us?
4 coins total. He can only do this 4 times.
Because
Well-
I wouldn't mind using my coin to be the disguise just in case we need it for
Yeah.
something bad happens.
Okay. So far 2.
Yeah.
Let me just read.
I already have Disguise Self, so I'm okay.
Yeah,
Let me reread.
I have Cure Wounds, so like I know.
Do I already
I'm
have Disguise Self? What did I take?
I think you do actually.
I have Prestidigitation, Minus Illusions, Mage Hand, Magic Missile, Hideous Laughters. I have Silent Image, not Disguise Self.
It's a perfect spell.
I have not had the chance to use it, sadly.
Yeah. So when you take Expeditious Retreat, as a bonus action on each of your turns, you can take the dash action. So basically, if you use your bonus action every turn, your movement speed doubles. So it can help you run away. So he'll give a coin of Disguise Self to Alexandris, so you can mark that down. He'll give one Expeditious Retreat to Flint, and then I'll just say that Ori gets Disguise Self. And then what do you want, Merit?
I'd like an Expeditious Retreat, but I'm going to take Disguise Self just in case something bad happens in that room.
Alright. So, 3 Disguise Selves and 1 Expeditious Retreat for Flint. Sounds good. So, Alvin, you see Alvin, and he takes the coins, he touches each one of them with one of his fingers, and he sort of muddles some stuff, and you see the coins glow, and then where the head side of the coins are, they've been replaced by little, gnomish runes. And he says, "Just hold the coin and say my name, and the magic will go off." And he gives each of you your coins. Say, "All right, well, good luck, guys. You best break off, get to your people."
Important question.
Yes.
Important question.
Yes.
How do they have to say his name?
Just say it. You can whisper it, I guess.
Oh, so they do not have to shout Alvin at the top of their lungs?
Alvin!
I mean, I suggest it for dramatic effect, but also I suggest not doing it because then that would implicate me in the crime. So use it up to your discretion.
All right.
And are they one-time use or
One-time use.
So they'll never work again?
Never work again. Then it'll just be a silver coin, which is a little bit of money, but yeah. There you go. He gives you a silver coin. So, Flint, as you walk on up with Gorak, you walk past Figgle, and you see that she looks at you right in the face, and she's like, "Oh, She looks at you, and she's like, "Mr. Nomi, I thought you'd be with your friends, Mr. Starchild. Who are you with now?" And Gorak
He gave you the night off.
Nomi is a stage name.
No, is that what you said? And Gorak pats. Gorak slaps you on. Gorak slaps you on the shoulder, and he's like, "Now don't be modest, Flint. This is the champion of the Hall of War's Fight Club."
It's canon. Nomi is Flint's last name.
Look, I gave you one lie. I did my part.
So, and she's like, "What? You're an assistant to the musician and the champion?"
Hey, you gotta make money somehow.
Roll a deception check.
Oh my! Are you the biggest bullshitter of the day? Is it no longer me?
Let's do this again.
Flint?
Oh no. That's a bad laugh.
What is it? Yeah, what's your deception? she looks at you and she's like, okay. Okay. Well,
there goes that romance.
Well, Flint,
I was
you're
shipping them.
Flint's Fire Forge. You are on the list, so I guess that's okay. And you are. He's like, and like Gorax is, and he is my guardian as the champion. He is allowed his weapon. I hope his prized weapon of the fight. And she's like, yeah. Okay. And you see her like sort of scribble something. See?
But not a giant axe.
Yeah, with a giant axe on your back. And so, you see that one of the gnomes doesn't just like flag you with the wand. They sort of just like wave you through. They sort of scan Gorak, and he stands proudly, like, you know, it's TSA. They wave the wand over his arms and everything, and the two of you walk on through.
Dope.
And so, who else was supposed to be there?
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah.
Real talk.
And as you walk on through back into the past the balcony, you hear a familiar voice, one you haven't heard in about a week. And it's, well. You move up the ranks fast, don't you, dwarf?
Oh, jeez.
And you turn around behind you, and you see a man in a fine black suit with silver trim and silver buttons. He's got slick back gray hair and a huge black handlebar mustache and a metal device strapped to his hip as Axel Thorne is looking down at you. One of the lieutenants of the pack. So, well, champion, I hear. That's impressive. I knew you were something special. And what was that? What was your name again? There, Fat. Was that it? Fat? Was that your name? I knew there was an F and a T. I knew there was the F and the T. Flint. Well, Flint. Let me introduce you to something even more important. And he sort of motions, and this woman walks up behind him. And as she walks, like, everyone falls silent. And behind her is a man with sort of like, who's wearing nothing but like sandals and a loincloth, and he has a scimitar strapped to his belt. And he's got like, he's ripped, full six-pack, defined pecs and everything, shaved head. And the woman who's walking is wearing a tight purple dress. Her skin is olive with like a tinge of green, and she has like bright red hair that covers one of her eyes. The other one, her other eye is a slit, almost like that of a cat or a reptile. And you can't help but notice that like the top of her dress is sort of like a corset, which really pronounces her ample bosom, which you also can't help but notice because around her neck is a cobra, the head of which is looking around and like sort of posted like right above her cleavage. And as she walks up, Axel puts his arm around hers. Madam Kadi, this is the new champion of the Hall of War. Flint, this is Madam Kadi, mistress of the Red Light. And she sort of looks you up and down. It's like really quickly. She's just like, charmed. Good to see you again, Gorak. It's just like, come, Mr. Thorne. The party awaits. And she just like walks on by you. And the huged up, like, greased buff guy just sort of just keeps walking by. And so, Alexandros, wait, is Justin here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alexandros, you are in a carriage with people you don't recognize. You've met them for the first time, but as the religious envoy, you were given a special passage. You are sitting across from a halfling woman in a brown dress and with fine brown hair with a white bow in it. And she's sort of like just sitting there looking pleasantly. And she's been silent basically the whole trip. And next to her is a pug, a dog. But the dog is wearing a cape and not like sitting on all of its paws, but sitting like as if it had hind legs. No, I'm not. I'm not. I know. I'm aware, but that's not who these are. That's not who these are. And that's not the influence.
But if we casually throw in canon characters, we're not going to lay.
Plausible deniability, yes.
Yeah. We've already had like references to like retail stores. I threw a Buffy out there. Like if we go Marvel, like.
So you've been riding along for a bit, and the halfling woman finally speaks up, and she's like, "Well, you're sort of a soft-spoken one, but I suppose I'll make the introductions. I'm Monica Whitebow. Pleasant to meet you."
Pleasure to meet you as well. I am Alexandros.
The religious envoy, I see.
Yes, I am.
Have you
new
been
in this
position
role?
long? Oh, you're new. Do you like it?
It's very great. It's an honor to serve Herob.
Are you new in the city? Are you looking for housing?
I have been here a couple, like, what's the timeline?
You personally have been here like 3 weeks.
Okay. I have been here for 3 weeks, and I've been staying at this, let's just say, quaint little inn with a couple of friends.
Well, if you are ever looking to upgrade your living situation, I'm sure I could set you up with a place in Pleasant Hills. I'm sort of the real estate mogul there. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I do run a successful housing industry over there. I like to think.
Yes. From the looks of you, I realize that you were a very connected and well-to-do woman.
I like to think so.
Yes.
So, if you're ever swinging by Pleasant Hills, be sure to let me know. We'd be happy to have you.
What's the name of by chance, what's the name of the little dog?
And she's like, and she like leans closer. She's like, I don't really know why they put us on the carriage with him. He's not mine, but I've heard him talk.
Like, actually, like, human words?
Yes, I can talk.
I just, like, whip my head and I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, I thought Flint was Frank. Hang on.
The pug is like, he starts licking his
Oh, different pug or different Frank.
And he's like, I can talk. This is not my preferred form.
Why did you choose the pug?
I did not choose this form. I am trying to escape it, but for now it suits my facilities. I assumed this form rather on accident.
That sounds like a whole story in and of itself.
I do not have
Yes.
the time to explain these. And he starts, like, flitting his paw at you dismissively. Find me in the party after I've eaten. I am quite grumpy.
Can we delay long enough to have a chit chat with a chit chat with Frank?
How will I know it's you?
And he just, like, looks at you. You'll know. I will be stuck in this form for quite a while.
Okay, I just like nod confusingly, but I would give like Monica a look like, is this real? Is this happening?
Like, well, at the very least, you're both wearing really nice robes. You got that in common. And you look down at yourself, Alexandros, and you realize, yeah, you are wearing a really nice robe. The robe that Herib gave you. So, your flashback. The day before, you found it prudent to check in with Herib God, the leader of the Holy Concordance, and speak to her about what your duties are at this gala. And as she descends with her robe, she walks over to the edge of her little meditation chamber. She pulls out like this marble slab that comes out of the wall, and in there is a different robe, a fine red robe with like 30, 40, maybe even 50 of these purple eyes looking around, sewn into the fabric. They don't jut out. They're not like human eyes, like stapled onto it, but they're like on the fabric. It looks like there are painted on eyes, but sort of like Harry Potter style. The eyes are constantly moving.
Wow. That's
Creepy.
flashy.
This.
Yeah.
And she says, "This is the mark of the emissary. A robe of Ayun. You will be able to see much. As you will have many eyes, you will be my eye."
I pick up the fabric and like I think it's like a sleeve, and the eyes look at me. I just say, "Can you see through this?"
You can see wherever the eyes can see. And so, putting it on, it's almost disorienting because, you know, you're used to seeing just straight ahead of you. But you have permanent 360 angle vision while wearing this robe. You can see behind you, you can see up, you can see below you. You can see in every direction. And more than that, you can see in the darkness. You can see dust and wind moving through. You can see things that are invisible. You can
Dude,
see...
you've transcended.
I feel like I just like digivolved or something.
What's up? It's like, this is a momentary gift. I will require it by the end of your mission. For the moment, it will mark you as my emissary, and it will help you in discerning truths. So, you are currently wearing a robe of eyes, and while you wear it, you can see in all directions, which gives you advantage on perception checks. You have dark vision up to 120 feet, and you can see invisible creatures and objects, as well as see into the ethereal plane out to 120 feet.
Okay.
But bright light will blind you. But basically, you can see in the dark, and you can see all around you. Those are the most... And it looks awesome.
So she's gonna know that he's involved in our heist, isn't she?
So like she can see what I'm seeing.
You can see a lot, that's for sure.
I think that's what she said, man.
Yeah, I think that's basically... If I insight this role, like, would I be able to find out the truth? Or like...
Sure. I mean, are you gonna ask her, or are you gonna just...
Yeah, like I asked her before, like, should I just ask to clarify again?
Yeah, sure.
So, like, I'll just put on the card, like, I'll wear the card and I'll just be like, so just to confirm, like, would you be, as I go through this party, will you be able to see everything as I move? And then,
Box
hold
her
on.
ahead. If I wish.
Oh.
So, can I use the insight roll? Because then,
Yeah, you can insight check that.
because I have 15 plus 6, so 21.
Ooh.
Yeah, she said, if I wish. And you can tell she's sort of, like, reserved in that answer.
Hmm.
As in, like, yeah, like, she'll probably wish a lot. Like, she's sort of, like, throwing you, like, oh, if I want to. But, like, yeah, she's probably gonna check in a few times.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it cash.
So I'm screwed.
But while you wear it, you can see, like everything.
What if he turned it inside out?
But then she would see everything.
Yeah, but
She
that's
wouldn't
not
see
the
inside
important part.
Look, everybody has boundaries, okay?
Yes. I may be connected to a hell god, but I still have some restrictions.
Yeah,
Consent is a thing.
but she can't see inside your mind. And yeah,
She's gonna know when you're doing heist stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but she also told you to spy on other people.
Yes.
Okay. So there's an undercurrent of spying going on.
Yes.
Eyes everywhere.
I'm just saying.
Eyes within eyes within eyes. But so,
The eye of a tiger king.
she nods at you. She says, I wish you good luck. Have an enjoyable time.
I will.
It is a party.
That sounded
After all.
sinister.
I don't know. I mean, for her character, it's kind of genuine.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, she's mysterious enough, but I feel like at some point it's gonna be like revealed. Villain. Wig snatch.
Only when we need it.
Alright, now I just think of like Okoye in Black Panther. Yeah, I mean, like, full disclosure, I imagined her like as Okoye, like as I designed her. Like,
That's
It's like
good
the,
What?
the best character in Black Panther not named Shuri.
yeah.
Why are we only finding about this now? Like,
I know. I
Yeah.
told you. Like, as you walked in, she has dark skin. And she's a bald head, and like, I just imagine Danae Guerrera, or however you say her name.
See, if he had
That's
said that
right.
and then said
That's right?
sassy.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so yes,
okay.
for your own visuals,
Yes.
Okoye wearing a galaxy.
Just want to point out this is now the second Marvel reference of the episode.
God damn it! Well, there'll be many, I guess.
We're
Oh
not
my
even
God.
getting paid like those other
Oh,
shows.
there's gonna be a third one for sure, explicit at some point. So, stick.
We need,
What have we done?
So
we need like a counter at the back where it's just like dings every time, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
too
Marvel.
Two cinema
Oh, hey,
scenes.
hey guys, Bob Iger just texted me. The check's in the mail.
I'm done, guys. Figure out the rest of this on your own. All right.
Yes. You know what? You should have turned the little pug into a raccoon, and then we would have had a
Ah, damn it!
reference.
You should have turned the pug into like a beholder, and that would have just been the whole thing.
Yeah.
The pug was from Inhumans.
Lockjaw's
Yes.
bulldog.
You guys
That's
will see
why.
what the plug is eventually.
So we had an Humans reference, so like maybe raccoon next.
Wait,
and then
wait,
these
no,
three
wait! Is the
movies.
pug in Crash out?
I don't know. The crush can be anybody.
I am not a pug.
That would be really fun.
They were really good, wasn't it?
Where were we?
Anyway, so
no.
flashback.
Robe full of galaxies,
Alexandros.
and I was suggesting that Alexandros let Okoye see the other side, so that she can spy on his spying.
all right.
That's where we were at.
Yes, but He-Rib gives you the robe of eyes. You don it and you leave. Back to the present. Yeah, you arrive. You get out of the carriage with Monica and the pug, the talking pug,
Yeah.
who is walking on two legs, hind legs, with this little cape flowing behind him.
Interesting.
Yes. I extend my arm to Monica, like, do you need an escort into the room? Into the gala?
Oh, well, I don't need one, but I appreciate it. You're awfully sweet.
Yes. I extend my arm like in
Yeah,
the
I mean,
hook.
she's a halfling, so you have to kind of bend down. She's kind of like a child to you, but you can
Yeah.
do it.
So I'll do that.
Say, oh, well, you're mighty strong, aren't you?
Don't know the half of it.
Was that a halfling joke?
No, but like, yeah, equal opportunity.
Be careful, if the halfling's daughter is president, you have to apologize now?
Huh?
What?
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 Topical reference. What?
Oh.
Oh.
Alright.
I'm Canadian. I don't know this.
You don't need to know. Let's
Oh
not
yeah,
know.
you live in the real world.
There must be a Cheeto.
So as you're walking through, people seem to recognize you, Alexander, or at least they recognize your robe that sort of marks your station. And they're like, "Oh, this envoy." You have a couple people approach you, some rather like elegantly dressed humans, sort of in gold attire, and they ask you, like, "Oh, are you working with Hira? How has she been? I haven't seen the deer in ages."
She is busy as always, looking over all the people.
Of
Yes.
course, she's such a gracious soul. Oh, she's so elegant. I wish you the best of luck, dear. Have fun at the party. And there's people sort of, schmoozing and talking to you and coming up and whatever. And some people talking to Monica. Some people she's obviously being recognized. The pug just keeps on walking.
Yes,
Fascinating creature.
I turn to Monica and I say, like, how well do you know the people at this party? You seem really popular.
Well, everyone knows Pleasant Hills. We're the most pleasant in the city. So, yeah, I get around.
I ask, so as I look through the party, I say, like, do you know anyone here? And it's like, casually point.
She's like, well, I didn't know the pug, but, the Dragonborn fellow over there. And you see she's pointing to, like, a Dragonborn with silver scales in, like, full plate armor and with a greatsword on his back. She's like, well, that's Lieutenant Kosef right there. Which is a name that you recognize, Alexandros. That was one of the names on Felix's list. And she also points far ahead, as you can see. I can see walking in is Madame Kadi of the Red Light. You can see a woman in a purple dress walk by. And you see Flint, actually, up ahead of you. And this woman in a purple dress, arm in arm with a man in a black suit, walk by and down the steps. It's like, yeah, that was Madame Kadi. I think she was with someone from the pack. I can't quite see from here. Short legs. What can I say?
Greasy motherfucker.
All in the hair. All that.
Yeah.
She says, I believe some of these people, there's many from the gold and financial districts. I forget a lot of their names. But, I remember their faces. And she says, Kosef, might want to say, Kosef! And she, like, sort of waves down, and the Dragonborn sort of, like, walks over, and he sort of, like, clomp. He's huge. Like, Ori's pretty tall. Like, Dragonborn on average 6 feet. So he's, like, this guy's, like, 6'5". Ori, I think, is, like, 6'3" or something. So this is a tall, buff lizard man, full in armor, and he wears... over his armor, it's sort of like, like Crusader armor, how they have like that fabric that goes over it and sort of dangles between the legs. He on the chest you see the royal crest of the bear with the crown. That's the royal symbol. And then but around his belt you see, as a religious person, instantly the religious symbol of the platinum dragon Bahamut, which is a lawful good dragon god. And given his heavy armor and his sort of martial status and the holy symbol, you would suspect that he's a paladin of some sort. And he approaches you and he's, I see that Kirib has found a new emissary.
Yes.
As he speaks with his reptilian voice through his teeth.
Yes. Like, as I stare up, I'm like, yes. I am here on her behalf.
It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Kosef, Lieutenant of the Royal Guard and Paladin to Bahamut. And he extends a clawed hand.
He sounds like a Khajiit.
Yeah, like a serious Khajiit. Super serious.
I extend my hand and I shake the claw.
Yeah,
and I say,
it's pretty dry, it's like petting a lizard, but it's a firm handshake.
yes. And I say, like, I am Alexandros.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Alexandros. Come, we have much to discuss. He's watching.
Shall
Like,
Yeah.
have you heard of the disasters in the Life Church?
Yes, I have heard of Brienne's recent death, as well as other
Yes.
happenings.
Indeed, it is a misfortune, but I'm glad to have it behind us. The Life Church is a valued ally in the security of our city.
Yes, it would be a
You tell.
shame. Oh, do tell?
Well, Uranus rallies much of the city's religious folk. Many worship gods of life. So if we were to bother him too much, I fear he would reserve resources. It is good, then, that he is in proper standing still.
I see. Do you call to him often? Before?
As a lieutenant, it is my job to be emissary between the royal guards and the various churches of religion row. I have a great working relationship with Uranus. Arguably the best among the bunch. No offense.
Then taken. Kalimvor, as conflicted as he is, isn't terrible. Not perfect, but I can make do.
He sort of nods. He's like, indeed. And so, y'all approach Figgle, and she announces all of you, and she checks you off on the list. And she's like, pleasure to see you again. As you go, oh, Monica, you're here. Ah! And Monica is like, oh, Figgle, it's so good to see you again. Sumi's got you up here. When is he supposed to arrive? He should be doing this on his own. And she's like, well, you know Sumi. He likes to make an entrance. He will. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I've had such a pleasure. This is Alexandris. Wave us on through. Great guy. And she's like, oh, of course, yeah. Royal emissary. Here you are. Kosev, good to see you again. Enjoy the party. Alexandris, did you try to sneak in any weapons of any kind?
Because my only stuff are
You have a crossbow and a hand axe.
a hand axe. I don't have to go through any of the metal detectors, or will I have to?
Everyone has to.
I think I'm fine to not bring them because I have access to magic. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say no, I did not bring them.
Okay, so then you are waved through by the wands. No problem. And so you walk on in. And so now all of you are in the ballroom. You see ahead of you Alexandris, Flint, and this rather tall human man wearing furs and leathers, and a holy symbol to the god cord around his head. And they are sort of schmoozing around the people collected at the ballroom floor. There's a couple people beginning to dance. And you see there's a stage at which you can see the white horns of Karnov in his bright red outfit. And they're sort of setting up with Ziggy and this the tall Goliath woman you've seen at the butchers before, all sort of in the back. And then approaching them is the woman that Monica pointed out as Madame Kadi and a man in a black suit. And so, Karnov, you hear behind you, well. Looks like all of you are rather fast workers. As you turn, and behind you is standing Axel Thorne of the pack.
What?
Am I there? I forgot.
You're there.
Yeah, we're there.
I'm
Alright.
shifting. Sorry, this is a point of view shift. Sorry.
Okay.
This was my you Alexandris see Axel and Madame Kadi walk up to Merritt and Karnov. Now the POV is shifting
Okay.
to them with that conversation. However, keep in mind all of you are now linked via the Mind Home, so now everyone can send everybody mental messages whenever they want.
Merritt has turned like ghost white and has just completely lost words. Says of coherence.
Axel just nods to you. And Karnov, you see this woman, this gorgeous woman in a purple dress with a snake around her neck and her ample cleavage, looking at you very intensely with her one serpentine eye that isn't hidden by her red hair, which covers the other one. Sort of Jessica Rabbit style.
Well, okay, I'm gonna be in my character's character. Well, hello there. I'm gonna do a bad Ziggy imitation the whole night. Can I help you?
No, just saying hello. Just being rather remarkable. You move up fast.
I was talking to the lady. She seems distraught by my appearance.
And she's like, not distraught. Fascinated.
Is that so?
Roll an insight check.
$22.
She is looking at you with only one eye, and yet you can see, as she looks up and down and sort of like taps her lip, she is looking at you the way like a butcher would examine like pieces of meat for their quality.
Sheesh.
Of course.
She's like examining like your worth.
Ugh. Okay.
She's like, oh, well, my mistake. This is the lady, Madame Kadi, mistress of the red light, and this is, I'll be honest, my friend. I remember your face. Nobody can forget a face like that. I don't remember your name.
Oh, it's Karnov.
Karnov, that was it. I still owe you all a favor. Thing you did for me on the boat. Glad to see you taken to the jungle. Quite nice.
We appreciate your advice. As you said, we move up quickly.
And then he sort of looks, and he sees Joanna step forward, the Goliath woman of the butchers.
Shit.
Although it seems not with the best of company. And he sort of like puffs his chest up a little bit, sort of frills his coat back, and you can see his gun sticking out of his hip now.
I kind of like glance at it to note it.
And Joanna walks up and just like, and just literally just says, "Fuck you." Completely deadpan.
Damn.
Merrick curls his smile is now back on his face. His complexion has returned.
and Axel's taken aback and just like, class as always, my dear. Class as always. Still glad to see that Hote's finest are the same as they always are. And she's like, "You didn't cause a scene, really? Right now? This early?"
While they're having their conversation, I'm going to look back at the madam.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna. I want to try an investigation check to see if there's something that I should be knowing about her, or
What specifically are you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out why she is staring at me that way. Trying to pick up her vibe.
History
her
check. Yeah, history check. I'll give you advantage on it because you did so well with the insight.
Okay. 11 for the first roll. 15 for the second roll. I'm going to take that one. So with with history, that's going to be 18.
18. Okay. You know that she's the leader of the Red Light District, and that you know that her business is sort of in trafficking people. And so she's sort of fascinated and sort of like looking at you like, the same way that like a rare art collector would admire a rare piece of art. She's sort of, you can kind of tell that she's noticing that you are sort of exotic even for a tiefling. And that fascinates her.
Okay. I'm going to kind of narrow my eyes in acknowledgement.
And she smiles at you. First time you've seen her smile. She just says, "My dear, if you ever need work, you can find me in the Red Light."
I'm appropriately staffed right now.
She sort of walks up to you and like to get like close to your face, and like, you sort of get like bumped by her chest before she gets there, and she just said,
Yeah.
and she whispers in your ear, "You would fetch a fine price."
I'm flattered, my dear, but you're not exactly my type. But if it's a performance you're looking for, stay tuned for the rest of the night.
Ha!
She sort of sneers that she smelled something pretty bad, and steps back. She says, "Oh yes, Mormons." She looks at Ziggy. She's just like, she scoffs. She's like, "The answer would have been far superior." And you see, like, Axel is still like staring right at Joanna, who's like sort of like reaching for her axe, and Axel's sort of inching for the gun. And she just says, "Axel, let's go to the cakes. I'm tired of the entertainment." She said, "Gladly, my lady." Karnov. And he looks at you,
His
Merritt.
name is Merritt.
Right, that was it. Merritt. Good to see you again, too. Do I know you from somewhere?
The boat.
No,
I'm just speaking for you, Merritt, because I know
no,
you
but
don't.
you know, beyond that, I remember the boat. But you know, the more I see you, the more you look.
Merrick is now shaking with rage.
You know people like him, they all kind of look alike. Honestly, I sometimes have trouble telling all humans apart.
You're right. I feel like I've seen lots of guys like you. All right. You take care. Enjoy the party. You know, the madam, she's rather particular about the entertainment that she likes, but I look forward to the presentation.
I hope you enjoy it.
And he sort of bows. And
I reciprocate as to not cause a problem.
He walks back up with Madame Kadi as they walk towards the table that had all the cakes on it. And
I think everybody's going to hear it, but it's targeted at Merritt, and I just go, "Hey, don't fuck this up."
There's nothing more that I want than for him to stop breathing.
Well, getting better weapons.
He says in a voice that you never heard him talk in.
I understand more than you know. But preventing them from getting better weapons is a surefire way to get some sort of vengeance.
Why do you think I'm even doing this?
Because you've been a greedy shit this whole time.
Are you having this conversation like speaking, or are you doing like mind tone?
We're doing the mind thing.
We're doing the
All right,
mind.
so everybody else is hearing this too.
Yes.
So Flint interjects facts.
And you hear a raspy voice
I understand
saying,
now. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you want to keep level heads, guys. We almost got this in the bag.
Don't be a hero.
I'm
There's no
just gonna
profit in
do
it.
what I'm just gonna do what they're paying me to do.
That's the
Comprendo?
spirit.
That's all I ask of you.
Uh-huh.
You gotta play the long game on this one, man.
Then I look at
That's-
Merritt and I just kind of nod like I understand what he's actually saying.
That's my plan. I'm gonna go do it now.
That's
Have a
not the
fun.
long game. That's not the
Not the
long
long
game.
game.
So what are you doing, Merritt?
I'm going to find a place. I'm going to find a place to hide in shadows and to just wait for soon.
As you begin to walk away, you feel a hand touch your shoulder. As the Goliath woman with the bear on her head, Joanna says, yeah, where are you going?
The bathroom.
I feel like you're not. I'm supposed to chop off your hands if you're not. And she's just like, deadpan. Are you really going to the bathroom?
Well, that's where I'm heading to hide in the shadows, so technically I'm telling the truth.
We'll roll a deception check.
I'm going to use my inspiration to roll the deception check.
Oh, just to succeed on it?
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, yeah, I guess it's pre-show jitters. Fine, make it quick. And so you walk back up towards the entrance.
Why don't you just ask him? You have magic. We have magic drugs.
Yes, you can all mind communicate whenever you want, and you can also not just send words. You can also send each other whatever you're seeing or hearing. So it's sharing anything you want.
Hurry! Merritt, what the frig are you doing?
I'm going to hide in shadows.
And so
Why do I feel like that for once that actually doesn't mean what you say it means?
That's what's happening.
So as you
That's what's happening. I swear.
as you're walking through the crowd that's coming down the stairs onto the ballroom floor, you're walking up and you're sort of fighting through the crowd, and you keep hearing Figgle say, "And now entering is the Duke and Duchess of Camesborough," and like she's like announcing people as they enter the ballroom. And then, right as you think like this night can't get any worse, you hear something. You hear a name you haven't heard in a while. It fills you with dread. As you hear Viggle's voice say, "And now entering is the Great Wizard Roundtree." And you see walking through the door.
Out of my mind.
You see walking through the doorway, the pug.
Oh, hey!
And its little hind legs.
Is that what you did? Oh, great! I should not think up of my character's backstory while I'm like tired because this is
You caused the pug.
Hey, he didn't know who I was, so I all that mentally away and walk still up the stairs.
You walk still up the stairs, and this little pug walks across from you and looks at you.
I use my disguise
Cocks
self
head.
thing like immediately.
You use your what?
The disguise self thing.
Oh, you use your coin?
Yeah, now.
Alright.
Now.
Before the pug even walks by, well, what form do you take?
Another human.
Okay, just like a nondescript human in a fancy suit. As you are now up the stairs, and now you are disguised for, I believe it lasts an hour, if you don't attack or do anything else. So you're basically now free to go wherever you want as this disguised person.
The bathroom where I hide in shadows.
Okay, so again, the bathroom is like it's like sort of towards the entrance, and so it's past Figgle again, and then
Well,
it's like
then I
in
just find some place to hide in the shadows.
Okay.
Is there any place where I can hide in the shadows?
There's a couple of alcove, like you're on the second floor balcony, so there's a couple of like statues and vases, sort of decorative, like around the wall. I guess you can sort of
All right.
crouch behind one of them.
Well, let's do this thing.
All right,
so
so roll
this
stealth.
guy?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
a 15 plus 7. So that's
Okay, 22. So you appropriately get behind a vase, and you are, as far as you know, hidden from basically everybody. So Flint, now that you're on the ballroom floor, you have a pint that Gorak has given you.
Yeah.
You notice this little pug has walked down the stairs and is being approached by other fancier-looking types, and they're just like, Roundtree, is it really you?
He's like, yes, of course it's me. I did not choose this form. It was brought upon me by happenstance, most unfortunate.
Somebody, addendum, I need a reminder on who Roundtree was.
that is the wizard I knocked down the stairs.
Oh, that,
Roundtree coming from the guy that Warren Beatty supposedly shot in McCabe and Mrs. Miller.
Warren Beatty.
Yes,
Okay.
and Flint, you overhear this pug talking to all these other arcane students, like sort of impressed that the great wizard Roundtree is here. And you hear this little pug say, just like,
Yes, I was set upon by a brigand who, we had a bit of a scuffle in my workshop, and he shoved me. I fell. And to his mind, I probably disappeared, but unbeknownst to him, it was a potion not of disintegration but of polymorph. True polymorph. I was turned into a fly. Undetectable. And though I buzzed, I could not see his dastardly face, and he scuttled off as rogues are so often to do.
Well, good news, you're not a murderer.
But fortunately, I was able to surmise some of my arcane powers, even in such an insect form, to reverse the polymorph. Unfortunately, it was not so easy, and I just adopted this form.
Wonderful.
So once, and like this pug is still standing up on like 2 legs and motioning through its jowls and its 2 little paws. Once I gather enough of my arcanic resources, I can adopt my true form once again. But for the moment, this suits my facilities. Now then, I smell some sweets. I require food.
Flint is overhearing all of this and is already just fed up with the
Flabbergasted.
evening and can only imagine what Merritt is thinking or plotting and just chugs the
Alex,
rest of
for
his
real,
pint.
I love you. This is the funniest thing you could possibly do with my crazy ass backstory.
Oh my gosh.
I thought about this for a while.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
God.
god.
Oh, man.
I require food. Amazing.
As I chug this pint, I ask Clawthorn, you heard of this round tree? This dog? What is why
he
are
sorta-
people so fascinated with him?
And he sort of hiccups, and you realize that in the time that you've been down there, he's gone through at least like 4 cups of ale rather quickly.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, I'm gonna be honest, my friend, I don't really keep up much with the magic folk. But, I mean, I've heard of the name, yeah. Apparently he was a wizard somewhere off in the northern reaches. I guess so famous. He had a lot of fancy stuff. Lots of people wanted to steal. Lots of people tried to steal. Usually died. And heard he was missing. I guess he ain't.
That's pretty unremarkable of a story for a big time wizard.
Like I said, he'd probably done a bunch of fancy stuff, but can't say I know too much about casters who aren't of the divine variety.
Why would you? No need to.
You got that right. And clanks her glasses.
Oh man. Okay. So I'm just thinking logistically of where I am and where everyone else
okay.
is and where we need
So,
to be
yeah.
at.
Yes, so currently you are in the middle of the ballroom floor. It's this massive slab of gold, and you can see all these fancy attired people sort of milling about, some eating food, some drinking. You're sort of facing towards the stairway where the entrance was, and you can see now also Alexandris has descended along with a halfling woman with a white bow in her hair. And a rather bulky-looking dragonborn guy is right next to them as well. Behind you is the stage with Ziggy, Joanna, and Karnov. Merritt walked by you at some point and then seemingly disappeared into the crowd. And then off to the left somewhere was Axel and the woman. You do know that off to your right currently is the West Wing. That's where Alvin has told you the transaction is going to go down. If you remember, Alvin told you that the person that you're supposed to follow is a man all in gold, and who's rather fat. This human named Gustav, who will be flanked
And
by
that's who I'm waiting.
these
that's
2
who I'm
knights
waiting.
also in gold armor, and you have not seen him yet.
Okay.
I have slowly walked away. I am approaching the West Wing and hiding in shadows.
Okay. He walked off in that general direction. So, and I'm assuming that this...
And so currently the music is still sort of like this classical stuff that's playing. Ziggy's still getting set up for the actual performance. So everyone's just sort of like schmoozing and milling about right now. And Alvin pings you. He's like, all right, I'm set up in the hedges. Keep sending me little visual cues if you find Gustav. Until then, just hang tight. Don't draw attention to yourselves. Make some plans.
Should I scan the room like an investigation check for Gustav?
He
Perception.
should be very
Perception
easy to
check.
find.
Yeah, I figured. I rolled a 14 for a perception check in general.
He is not in the room. He's not here yet.
Okay.
I was going to introduce him when Lee showed up, because she arrived fashionably late, but we might just have to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
but
probably looks
yeah,
like it.
He's not here at the moment. But all the lights sort of dim a little bit. Like all these chandeliers that are dangling from the clock, like the fires themselves dim a little bit. And you hear Figgle over this like overhead projector gramophone system. It's like, and it is now my pleasure to introduce the man of the evening himself, Sumi, the Great Artificer. And everyone, like the whole room starts like erupting in applause, and you hear like this like scrape of metal like coming from this like the huge iron shaft that's right behind the stage, and you expect like something like a platform or something to lower, but instead you see a figure. It looks like humanoid, but with wings, and entirely made out of metal. Like swoop down out of this metal shaft, and then come out of an opening and start taking flight as this giant metal bird person, or not giant, but like it's about 6 feet tall, with each wing about 7 feet out, also made of metal, and it's flapping, and everyone's clapping as they're watching it, and it sort of circles. This metal bird person circles around the clock 3 times anti-clockwise, and then the wings sort of slow, and then the figure lands. The metal wings fold in on themselves, and then you see the metal beak of this bird creature unfold and then fold up and slick back, and you see jutting out of it a gnome face, rather proportionally small given the rest of the body is about 6 feet tall. And you see a gnomish man with a goatee, slightly graying at the edges, and his hair in a really sharp pointed faux hawk.
The man of the hour.
What is this?
I kind of mumble out loud, but also over the mind conversation. Somebody is very much overcompensating.
And so this 7 foot tall metal bird person body with a gnome head sticking out of it walks up and just says, yeah, everybody, welcome. This is my party. I'm so grateful you're all here. So grateful. Welcome. I do this every year. I never regret it, because it's always a fantastic time. How is everybody doing? Everyone's just like, yeah, woo. So
I slowly play along.
If you didn't know, I am Sumi, the man of the hour. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here on my birthday. Enjoy the festivities. We have a great performance from Mr. Ziggy Star Child. And everyone's just like, woo, and Ziggy bows really elegantly.
Yeah.
So they will get set up real soon. In the meantime, come talk to me. I'd enjoy to hear what all of my guests have to say. And people start naturally just flocking to him.
Flint asks Clausen, is he just smashed, or does he just talk like that?
Both, probably.
Ah.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, descended is Sumi in a giant metal body. And if you're wondering, this was the third marble ring.
I was thinking Lex Luthor.
Now, yeah, he's more of a Tony Stark, but yeah.
Okay.
Pint-sized neurotic Tony Stark.
Give me a fat beat to kick my buddy's ass to. Man. Alright. What do we do? I'm freezing under pressure.
So, well, I'll just say, at this moment, Merritt, you hear clanking of metal from behind you, from the entryway going in. And you roll a perception check.
Okay, so that's that with a 4. So, how is a... So, alright, so it's +4, so I rolled a 5.
There's a lot going on in here. You're sort of flummoxed.
For the purposes of the plot, can I roll again?
No, you don't really need it. It would have given you a few more seconds of preparation for anything. But you hear murmuring, you hear clanking metal, and then it's not until they're like a couple steps beyond you. You're sort of taken aback by the grand entrance of Sumi and all the people sort of now clamoring. Now the music's getting louder. People are talking more now that like the host has arrived. Now that like the party has really kicked into party mode. And so it takes you a second to realize that walking by you and several steps now past you is a human man, rather fat, with long brown locks, wearing fine gold silk all over his body and 3 rings on each finger. And the pug is barking now.
I start walking like a couple pieces.
That one's not
behind him.
mine.
No, that's mine. That's mine, of course. Guess I can't have nice things.
So I'm about, I don't know, 5 paces directly behind them.
Hold on. This is audio poison. You guys communicate with yourselves in the mind home for the sake of our listeners.
So
Great party, huh? Somebody wants to enslave me. So
hey, quick, can one of you go up to Sumi, tell them that you're somebody named Roundtree, and just embarrass yourselves extremely badly? Consider it a favor.
Wouldn't you consider looking like a pug embarrassing enough?
No. Tell them you'll be at the party later as a pug.
That name is funny to me.
It's the person who I knocked down the stairs. He's here, and I'm fine. What? Don't pull that. So, why don't you one of you just go up to Sumi and just embarrass yourself, like really badly. I wonder. Actually, you know what? I'll have Turget do it. I wonder where he is.
He is off doing his mission. Like, why does trouble keep finding you, Richard? Like,
I've lived a long time, and I've had people follow me for longer than you've been alive. Let's just say that.
So what does Roundtree look like?
Well, now he looks like a pug. So
I am sorry. He looks like a what?
He looks like a puppy dog, a cute little puppy dog. He's here, and he lives.
And that's not embarrassing by itself.
Well,
That's what I was saying.
Well, no. This is my plan. One of you needs to go up there, preferably one of the humans, preferably Alexander Sir Turget, and embarrass yourself and tell them that your name is Roundtree and that you're going to be a pug later on this evening. It'll be funny.
What would be considered more embarrassing than just appearing as a pug and not of your own doing?
He seems to own it.
It's at this moment that the barking ceases, and you hear a little voice saying, "I require to go to the gardens." And then you see the little pug walk out. Behind the stage and the metal shaft, there are these huge glass doors that lead out into these elegant gardens behind the castle, and you see the little pug walk outside.
You want me to kill him?
Would you rather have that on your conscience that a bunch of people saw the champion of the pits murder a dog?
You're talking about the guy who ate a fish, or like a fish person.
I don't know. You figure out what you want to do. If you want, you know,
are
that
the
could be our
only group
distraction.
of people that seem to be empathetic towards these fish people.
So,
Hey, we do
Merritt,
need a
you-
distraction, Flint. Why
you
doesn't that
witness
be our
now
distraction?
that there's this man halfway down the stairs now with fine gold silk, rather rotund, and he's flanked by two completely plate-mailed and helmeted knights. Their armor,
Yes,
their plate
I-
armor, is made
I've
of
been
gold. And
I've
each of
been
them
following
have
5 pages for the past.
and each of them have long swords. And you hear a little. It's always a little bit delayed. Figgle's announcement. And now arriving is Gustav of the Gold Company. Of the Gold Company. Sorry, yeah, that's it. And this rather rotund man is just like making a beeline straight for Sumi.
Oh, there it is.
God, it's like
Am I still hidden in shadows?
Well, you're walking make another stealth check because now you're sort of like walking amongst the crowd. If you're are you trying to follow them or are you still up behind the vase?
I'm trying to follow them. I've
Okay,
been
make a
trying to
st-
follow them. Yeah.
Yeah, make a stealth check.
So
You
how
have-
does
You have advantage because you are disguised.
16 plus 7 work? That's 23.
That's pretty good. They don't seem to notice you.
Mm-hmm.
They are just marching on up.
And I'm gonna. What do I have? I'm gonna roll investigation to try to listen to their conversation.
That would be perception.
Perception, right? Hey, how does a natural 20 do?
Oh, wonderful. So you you sort of
Plus
like walking up
4.
as this man Gustav walks up to Sumi. Sumi sort of like politely like tells people like, "Oh, go and enjoy the many refreshments. Go enjoy them. Go, please, go." And then Gustav like physically like pushes people out of the way, and the guards sort of like the two rather imposing like plate-mailed knights sort of stand up right and just like stare at people with their visors until like there's sort of this bubble of people, or this bubble of absence of people in the otherwise crowded dance floor as Gustav walks up to Sumi. And you sort of have to really tune your ears to it amongst all the like the chatter that you hear a little bit. Welcome, Gustav. It's great that you're here. I knew you were coming, but it's still good to see you.
You say, yes, of course. Sumi is pleasant as hell, but I have come here on business.
Is it what?
You're gonna kill with these voices tonight, Alex.
I'm gonna be so raspy tomorrow. No idea. And this is my B-roll.
So
Get me
raspy.
voice acting, guys. And
He says, I'd rather get the business over with. It will be lengthy, the discussions.
it's like, why? Yes, probably, but you will find it most suitable to your needs. I will get my get a great person just for you. I have to tend to the guests. You know. You know.
It's like, whatever, my friend, I will be buy some refreshments, send your man to me there.
And he waddles off to the table full of food. And you see Sumi sort of look up to one of the balconies, and he motions his head. It looks almost kind of like he's sort of a naturally like twitchy guy, but you can see that's more intentional, like you there. And with a natural 20, you see that there's a gnome who's sort of dressed like a butler, standing on like actually like the arm, like the railway, the armrest, the railing of like the balcony, looking over the crowd, and he like looks at Sumi, and he nods his head, and he gets off, and he looks like he's about to walk down the stairs.
Mhm. So I'm gonna continue to be stuck like glue to Golden Gentleman.
Okay, so Gold Boy is walking towards the food table, and he gets a plate and takes a whole leg off of a chicken, or like a turkey. It was like King
jeez.
Henry, like Disneyland King Henry size legs, and puts it on a platter. And he grabs like a huge vat of mashed potatoes, several bread rolls, and he just has these two golden knights perpetually right by him.
Mm-hmm.
And so far,
And-
he's just chowing down, waiting.
Oh man.
And
Come on, Merritt.
He's like, and you hear a voice in your head. So, is he here?
He's here, yes. What do I do?
Follow him. See where he goes. He's probably gonna go off to the West Wing somewhere.
Yeah, I know that much. I'm gonna stick to him like glue until he does something interesting.
I was hoping they'd wait for the performance. It seems like the best time to make these kind of deals.
That's
And
probably
it's-
when they're gonna do it.
It's at that point that Sumi walks over to you, Karnov, or specifically to Ziggy, and he's like, all right, I feel like... by the way, thank you for showing up. I hear that you're the best in town. I have high expectations, but I know that you will meet them. And Ziggy says, I meet every expectation and exceed it extraordinarily. Well...
That is confidence.
Well, my friends, are you ready to begin? And it's just like, he turns to you, Karnov, and he's just like, are you ready?
I think to everybody else, are you ready?
Yeah.
Better late than never.
All right, then let us begin. Great! And he claps these huge metal hands. Then let us begin.
That will actually put us within about 2 hours.
I was just going to say, ironic as it is,
Thankfully.
let us begin is where we will end this session of the dungeon, folks. The heist has begun.
Dun dun dun.
So thanks for you tuned in on this Thursday. We know it's a bit of a different schedule, but the next few weeks might be a little hectic. Are we going to be good for Monday, everybody? Or are we busy
Yes.
again?
It might be.
Barring death, dismemberment, or the end of the world.
Barring an emergency story in the little town I report on.
Hey, you
Fine.
got through this without a Kanye West album drop. I think we'll be okay.
That man.
So
You'll be okay.
we'll pick up sometime next week. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll let
Monday's
you guys know.
fine. Monday's good.
All right. Monday's good, and then we will continue the heist. Now that it has
Boop, boop, boop.
officially begun.
Boop, boop, boop.
So thank you, everybody. Good stuff's beginning. Catch you next